Hey, welcome to another DJ Force X podcast. On this episode, which is episode 20, so yeah, 20, it's crazy, but I've got Renny from Forever Never on this episode. It was a fantastic interview. It was great to catch up with him. We've kind of crossed paths before in the UK, both in bands. We've played alongside each other. I've also booked Forever Never a couple of times in the past when they've been out on tour, and they've got some great music out there, and they've got some great music coming out. If you check it out, the single they've got coming out is One Life. Is available now via the various download sites you can get them from, so go out and support it. They're a great band on record. They're a great band live as well. If you don't believe me, go check them out in January, supporting the Defile. They're doing a UK tour. If you go check out their site, all the details are there, end of January, beginning of February, and they're planning on going longer than that. But you'll find out more on that in the interview. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's downloaded the show. The past couple of episodes have been fantastically supported. It's been phenomenal, to use a word like that. Just the jump in subscribers, the jump in downloads has been absolutely fantastic. There's not enough superlatives to explain how I feel about that. But those people who are getting it, please rate and review. That just helps this podcast get a little bit more exposure. It helps the artists that you're listening to get more exposure, because people see the reviews, people see the comments, and it attracts people to it. They go, I'll give it a go, and they'll listen to it, and maybe they'll hear a band or a person speaking about their musical project or whatever I'm speaking to them about. They'll hear it and they'll want to get involved, and that's how I do it. Just rate and review. There are thousands of you downloading this. Unless the statistics are lying to me, there are thousands of you downloading. So if like a small percentage of you just go on to iTunes, go on to Stitcher, or wherever you get this podcast from, and just leave a comment, review. It doesn't have to be 5 stars. I'm not asking for 5. Just be honest. That'll be fantastic, and it will really help everything that I'm trying to do here. But I'm going to lead you into another podcast now, or another interview. Yes. I'm just going to leave myself rambling for a bit, I think. No, I'll leave you into it. So this is Renny. He's the frontman from Forever Never. So enjoy it. Okay, welcome to this week's show. I have Renny, the front man from the band Forever Never. Welcome, Renny. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing absolutely brilliant. Thank you for asking. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yes.
Good.
Good day today, so, and it's still early. That's always good for me. So
Earlier for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm about 5 hours behind you. So
yeah, so I've already slumbered in bed this morning and got up and
recovering from last night's show. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I had a well-deserved lay-in this morning. I got to say, it was a really, really, really good night last night.
Excellent. Yeah, I saw the pictures. It looked pretty good. So
yeah, it was just such a great vibe. We've when before we had a break, we did Camden, and the Barfly is one of my favourite venues in anywhere.
Yes.
Not just so. It's just the vibe in there is cool, and there's always a great sound in there too. So
yeah, I always loved playing that venue when I was in the UK. It was one of those ones that I always sought after whenever we toured and things like that. So
yeah,
I got to play it a few times, so I know it well. So
yeah, it is one of those ones that before I played it, I'd seen quite a few bands there, and I'd been like, oh, I can't wait to play the Barfly.
Yeah,
and then I still get excited about it now, and we've done it about 7 or 8 times now. But I still get excited about playing the Barfly just because it's going to be real. Because obviously it doesn't take many to fill it up, so you know it's going to be sweaty and
yes,
and just full of energy and life. It's good. It's always good.
Yeah.
So anyway, but thankfully it was busy and it was sweaty, and everyone had a good time by the looks of it.
That sounds really cool. So, you guys are back, like you said, after your break.
Yes.
You went on your hiatus or break in 2012.
Yeah.
Just after you released the I Can't Believe It's Not Metal EP, which was a good EP.
Yeah,
I still play parts of it now whenever I'm out DJing. So
good.
I also actually booked you on that last tour. You might not remember. You played the West End Centre in Aldershot.
Oh, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yes, so I was the promoter for that show.
Oh, now that makes more sense. Yeah, not too many Barnabys around, is there? Really?
No, there's not too many. There's actually there's actually another one at that venue as well. The one who actually runs the venue is called Barney.
Okay.
I was there like temporarily before I moved over here, like on a voluntary basis. I was there promoting shows.
Yeah,
and you were one of the guys because I knew Noz. Paul Norrington, who has disappeared off the face of the earth. I haven't spoken to him for ages, but anyway, I knew him, and that's how I got you guys through him to get on that tour. So
fantastic! Yeah, it was good. That was a good gig. Yeah. I mean, that was the sad thing, really, is that all the shows we did on the farewell tour, as we called it, mind you, we called it the Never Say Never Again tour. So because obviously we still had an inkling we might sort of come back and do stuff, so we didn't want to sort of completely quit. But I mean, that was the sad thing. All of them shows were really good vibes, good attendances and whatever, and we were like, oh, should we not really be stopping? It was a bit bittersweet, really.
Yeah. No, I can imagine it, because I like when my band passed, we didn't actually get a chance to do that kind of final tour, but the last couple of shows we played were well attended, and it kind of gives you that kind of, it gives you a good way of going out, but it always draws you back in.
It does, yeah.
So, like I said, when you went on a break, how was that break for you?
Horrendous.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably enjoyable for 6 months, and it was probably enjoyable in terms of being able to concentrate on some other projects, and I did some solo stuff, and I collaborated with some just people from other genres, and some rappers. I did some dance DJs and stuff like that, which was, for me, I think was a really good character building thing. And I'm all for sort of having a wide spectrum of influences anyway, so I've sort of learnt a few things from working with people from outside of the rock and the metal world, which I think was really healthy.
Yeah.
But then I think probably about a year after, I was then like, I think I might have made a bit of an error. Because apart from a few like acoustic gigs that I'd done on my own, and I never really enjoy them, I'm not going to lie, they're a real effort for me, like stress and everything. But I hadn't done any shows, so that's the thing that was really killing me. I was like, I need to get some shows. I need to get back on a stage and do what I love. And then it took a best part of a year to sort of feed the seed round to everyone, and sort of be like, would everyone sort of be up for it? And like, in varying degrees of yes. That's why it took a while to sort of go from that point to actually having us all in the rehearsal room. But then once we were all in there, it's been pretty amazing, really.
Yeah.
I've had such a good year.
Yeah, because that was the one thing when what happened when my band stopped. It was that initial part was great, because you think, oh, I don't have that commitment right now.
Yeah.
It's not overshadowing anything else, that it won't take priority over other things you want to do, be it family or other projects like yourself. You had other projects.
Yeah.
But then once that stuff kind of goes back into a routine, you're kind of, I got the itchy feet. I needed to like perform.
Yeah.
The thing I joined the band about 2 months afterwards, just as like kind of a hired gun. If you will. I played like one show with Head P, and then that was it with them. So it didn't last very long. But and that kind of like, it kind of kept my feet on the ground, if you will.
Yeah.
And then I've always had DJing, because in the UK I was like DJing various rock clubs around the sort of south of England. But it never had that feeling.
Not the same, is it?
It's like, not. It can give you the buzz, but it's like the lesser drug, if you will.
There really is nothing like it, I got to say. Like, and I didn't stop writing any material, so I was still getting my rock and my metal sort of kick out of like writing what has become new Forever and Ever material. To be honest, like that is, I can't sort of stop. I can't really just turn it off. So I'm always writing. So I knew that they would all potentially have an outlet at some point. And obviously we've got back together, and that's proved to be what the outlet is. So I'm more than happy.
That's cool. That's cool. So you came back and you released a single, what was it, Never Giving Up?
That's it, yeah.
And on coming back, you one of your founding members, was it Kev?
Yeah.
Kev, he left the band.
Yes.
How did that affect? Was that prior to the reunion, or was that after that release? I wasn't sure on the timeline on that.
It was after we'd recorded the singles, and we'd obviously done the video because Kev was in the video. But then we started talking about the next video, and then talking about touring and dates that we want to do, and economics and all sorts of things, and it became more difficult to sort of fit it in with Kev, really. Yeah. Obviously myself and Kev got the ball rolling with the band. We were the ones to have an initial conversation before starting it. So, but we had to kind of say to him, like, you know, are you going to have enough time for this? Do you want to have enough time for this? And ultimately, I suppose it was a bit of a mutual thing in the end.
Yeah.
Because being a founding member, we couldn't. It had to be his decision. With what to do. And I know if the timing had been perhaps different, it wouldn't have happened. So, but it's one of those things, and we were sad to see Kev go, but we've got a new guy in now, and it's full steam ahead, which is it's working out great, basically.
Well, that's always good, because like I say, when I was looking up, I knew he was a founding member with you. And it's always difficult when that happens, because like you said, it had to be their choice. It couldn't be, forced upon. It just has to be, you ask the question, and then they go away and think about it, and if they can't, they can't,
That's it. And we didn't hold anything against him for coming to that, and it was an awkward few weeks while it was all being discussed, but it's done and dusted now, and I think he's happy doing what he's doing, and we're happy doing what we're doing, so it's fine.
Cool. How was Never Giving Up received at the time? So I saw it come out, but I'm over here in the States, so I get my news feed had bits on there, because obviously I got people who still associate with you guys. But, how was it received in general for you guys?
I think pretty good overall. I think all of the new stuff, I say all of them, the two new songs that we've released have both been received, I would actually say, even better than our old stuff. Okay. It just feels like there's a lot more, I don't know, it feels like there's more credibility in the way that people are receiving it. I think that people are coming out and putting their names to it and saying, "I love this song by Forever and Ever. This is awesome." And then it's sometimes it's from people that maybe in the past wouldn't have actually sort of put their name to it. You know what I mean? And that feels good, because I think with all the new material, it's going to change opinions. It might even change some people that like us how we were, might even suddenly think, "Oh no, it's not for me anymore." But I think ultimately for us, it's a really genuine, real approach to the songwriting and how we are now. That's where we want to be. So, cool. I think a lot of people need to give us a second chance. If all they know us for is like the Aporia stuff on the first album, then they definitely need to revisit us and give us another go, because I think it's the other end of the spectrum, to be honest. Yeah,
I was going to say, listening to your new single, One Life, you've always had that kind of rock metal, pop crossover sound.
Yeah.
If that's something you're okay with going with.
I don't mind. I'm
cool.
not afraid of the word pop at all. I know a lot of people would be, but I don't care. It's fine.
No, I've always liked that kind of mix of because we did it with my band. It was kind of, we had some pop mentalities, like hooks here and there, but it was more aggressive metal on the top of it. So
it's the thing. You there's no point having if you're going to have a hook in a song, you might as well be a good hook. And all the best hooks that are out are written in pop songs. That's why people get paid millions to to write them. But you know, and for me personally, a lot of my favourite singers are sort of R&B and pop singers. So that's where that side of it comes from completely. So
cool.
yeah,
cool. So I was going to say, like, the sound you have now, it seems like with this single, it like you said, it's a real step up.
It is
with your older material. Because like I said, I've known about you guys for many years, probably around your formation, like so that 2004, 5, 6 sort of time.
Yeah,
we we travelled in the same circles. We had mutual friends, things like that. Yeah. So you know, I've always been aware of that and the kind of sound you have. But like hearing the new single when it was sent to me, and yeah, it's definitely a step up. It's kind of moving on from your like the covers EP that you did before you guys took your break, and it was like your sound but with the pop songs.
Yes.
So you had "You Are the Voice," which was the biggest song off that EP.
That's always good live.
It was always like good live. It was constantly on Kerrang and Scuzz TV and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, because that's a hell of a catchy song. I mean, that's got a hell of a hook on it. You know,
that's what I could. When we were watching the film Hot Rod on tour when that song features in that film, and I was like, this song is actually amazing. Like, has anyone covered it? And I just quickly YouTubed it, and I was like, no one's done a rocked up, heavier version. I was like, right, that's going on the EP. so then I spent a couple of days working on a version, and yeah, it goes down so well. Last night in Camden, you know, like everyone's singing along. Like you're more of an idiot if you don't join in, and if you do, that's what I always say to people live. It's like you've got to join in. You look more stupid if you're standing there not singing along. So
yeah, it was one of the tracks when I played at like the rock nights that I DJ'd. I'd play that, and you get that whoa, everyone's singing along in the club, and it's a great feeling because it's like, you know, it's just that everyone, yeah, exactly. It's unifying. Everyone knows that hook or knows that part of the song
exactly,
and it was like I said, it was a fantastic cover. I really enjoyed it. So my wife really enjoyed it as well. She loved that EP.
Oh yeah,
she has it in the car. So
that's brilliant. The covers EP is kind of where I guess it's what's naturally progressed onto where we're going with the sound now. It's like I think with the covers EP we proved that you can still, you know, you can make actually heavy songs out of pop songs basically, and you can still keep them like good rock songs, but they're with a pop mentality. And so I thought, well, if we can make these pop songs sound like legit rock and metal songs, excuse me, the phone ringing.
That's all right.
If you can sort of make them work, then surely I can do the same with original material. Still make them, you know, heavy and plenty of girth and groove, but sort of adding that. Taking it to a bit of more of an extreme. I think that, again, with having the time off and experimenting with a few other genres as well, I don't feel like I feel completely uninhibited now with like what I'm doing vocally, because like even the One Life, a little bit of rapping on there almost, like and one of the other new songs we've recorded as well is, you know, I've got some really fast sort of. Well, I guess people are going to go, that's a bit Craig David, but I don't really mind if they say that, because I like Craig David. So, you know, and I don't really care anymore, like what people think. Maybe I had a bit of I'll admit, when I was doing Aporia and maybe the second hand was creeping out a little bit, but I sort of maybe didn't want to do that in case people said, that's not very metal or that's not very rock. But I honestly don't care if people think it's metal or not anymore. It's just, we're writing good songs. That's what I think is the most important thing. And if you like them, then that's great. If you don't like them, then that's also fine. But
no, that is a mentality that does inhibit. I mean, I know I had the same thing as well. When creating something, it's like, you know, we had ideas for songs that had these parts in it, and then in the early stage of the band, it's kind of like, well, no, it's not very, like you say, it's not very metal. What will everyone else think? And that once you get over that, your writing becomes so much better. Because you are, like you say, you're not inhibited by the sort of restraints of the genre you're mainly focused in.
Yeah,
you know, you can go, like, if you're a metal, then there's got to be certain points you got to hit. But then if you try and cross over with sound, you've got to keep it mainly, on the metal side, or maybe just like, experimenting. I think you put it down as.
Yeah.
But then once you go, actually, no, I want to do this with this. That's it. There is no looking back after that, because as soon as you stop sort of caring what people think or what people might perceive you to be, sound like, etc., it's a lot more like free. You feel free within the sound,
Absolutely right, and there's no greater feeling than that. Like, I think if you're confident enough in what you're doing, you do it with enough conviction, people can tell it's like legit. If you do it sort of half-assed and you're only doing it because you think it would be better, people can smell that, I think. And
definitely.
That's the weird thing with One Life. A lot of people have sort of commented on the song and how massive the word that comes up a lot is big and massive and huge, which is great because that's purpose. That's on purpose, obviously, to make it massive. But but what hasn't really been said a lot is like, oh, Renny's doing a little bit of a rap section in that song, and I think the reason it's not being picked up a lot is because I'm just doing it with conviction, and I know it's the first time I've ever done released a Forever Never song with it on. I've done some in other bits and pieces that I've done, but I think because on the time out I did some. Mm-hmm. It's made me more confident to be able to sort of do it in Forever Never, to the point where I don't really care if people go, oh, why is he rapping? But they haven't actually so far. I've not really seen that comment come. Probably be loads coming up now after they hear this when they're like, actually, Renny, I was going to say you're rubbish. But but yeah, no. I think if you do it with conviction and confidence, people have got to just like it or lump it, really, haven't they?
Exactly. I mean, like I said, it. The only thing with that part of the song, I mean, it doesn't sound forced, which was great, but also it doesn't sound like you. That's the other thing as well. So I don't know whether it was just me thinking it was someone else on the track.
I guess, yeah.
Because like these days, that's kind of what people do. You get like, you've got your track, and then you get like a guest to do. Like you had Benji on your covers, EP.
Yeah.
And I know you've been parts of your band have been part of other like guests on other people's albums and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was just saying it didn't sound forced, whereas sometimes when you get them, it just sounds like this guy produced, a line to be used in whatever song he could sell it to.
Yeah.
And that's how like most pop music feels to me these days, because you have like a lot of these like artists that come out and they've got like, a verse by whoever the big rapper is at the time.
Yeah.
And it's just that verse in there.
That's it, yeah.
And I know it's a way of breaking the artist to a point, giving them some exposure. But at the same time, it just feels like they've produced this verse to just slot into a, 4x4 break in the track.
Yeah.
And has no resemblance to the track itself. But whereas this, it didn't, like I said, it didn't sound forced. It sounded part of the song, but also like it didn't sound like you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think a lot of people probably on the same wavelength. They probably don't realise till they come see me do it live, and then they go, "Oh, actually, there we go."
Because, like I say, it wasn't in your material before.
No,
so it was that kind of delight and surprise, if you will.
Yeah, and like in some of the other material, it's not like we're going to bombard people with it. It's just something that. I feel confident enough in myself to be able to do it now, and if I need to, and it's just another tool that I've got vocally, and I don't see that as being a bad thing. Like the more stuff you can do vocally, the more you can mix it up. Then
exactly
keeps it more interesting. So
it gives you that little bit of to improv live as well.
Yeah,
you can change some tracks around just to give people a bit of a surprise. So
yeah, we love doing that. I think in the new year we're going to. We've got some good ideas for the live set, so we're going to have a good little mix up with stuff. Because obviously we've got a lot of new material that we want to start getting out to people.
Yeah.
So it's going to feature heavily, but yeah.
Cool. So with the single, we'll keep it on that the One Life single.
Yeah.
Obviously, given more recent world events, the title's very poignant. On that front. So can you tell me more about the track and the sort of the vibe behind it?
How it came to be?
Yeah.
This actually dates back to when the London riots happened.
Okay.
And I saw all that kicking off, and I was pretty appalled watching everything that was going on there, and I just kind of started writing the riffs to that song, like literally a few days afterwards. And I think initially the song was a bit more aggro, like a bit more sort of angry at the people that were sort of doing it.
Yeah.
But then I think it took its own, after a while, it's taken on its own life. It's taken on its own thing, which it's more positive. Like all of our new stuff, there's positives in everything basically. Even if something appears rubbish, you know, there's good stuff that can come out of it. And with One Life, that's the point of it. Is it's supposed to be encouraging, as opposed to when I originally sort of started working on it, it was a bit more pointing the finger at people.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's more like putting your arm around someone and just saying, look, come on, like, you got one life. Yeah. Make the most of it. Like that you can wallow in self-pity and get angry at other people and all of that. But, you know, I'm not a pacifist at all, but I do believe in, like, you know, anger breeds more anger. And if you carry on hating, then we're all going to it's just never going to get better. So you just have to look at yourself and actually love yourself a bit and love other people a bit. And yeah, that stuff rubs off. It's not a myth.
Yeah, no,
I think it's totally. I'm sure there's science has proved it somewhere.
If not, you got people like Andrew WK who are spreading the party vibe.
Oh,
no matter what's going on. So
I love his speech. I can't be two-faced to say I love his music, but I do love his speeches and everything he says. I'm well behind him on all that stuff. It's great.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to interview him earlier this year, and he was just a great person to be around. It was like you kind of have a perception of something, because I'd never met him before, so you have a perception of what they might be like, whether the stage persona is away from who they really are.
Yeah,
but he's nothing but that. That's what he is on stage is what he is in person.
That is really good to hear, actually.
He's like, he's wearing his stage clothes wherever he goes anyway, the jeans and white vest and whatnot. But no, he was just that genuine like person who Brilliant. Just positivity. You make what you can out of what you have, and you make it into a party kind of thing. So, That's it. And that's what we need, more people like that, because there is a lot of like discontent, hate, whatever, that's pushed around, and we just need people to go, look, like you guys, one life, that's it. It's not. You can dance around and be pissed at everyone or what's going on in the world, or you do something about it. Try and look for the good.
Yeah, I mean,
try and just enforce that positive reinforcement.
Yeah, you said it for me, man. That's literally what I would have said. But it is a case of just passing it on.
Yeah,
pass on the good vibes to other people, and it's better. I mean, all of our new stuff has got a very, very uplifting sort of positive vibe, and I think we're offering something different now to everyone else in rock and metal. Like, we love our heavy bands as well, but if you want your misery and your anger, you've already got like umpteen metal bands doing that, haven't you? So you've got them, and they do a good job of it. Whereas, we're setting ourselves slightly separate from all of them now, and just saying, look, if you want something a bit more sort of still heavy, loads of groove, we're not ever going to lose the heaviness, because we live for that. But certainly lyrically and just vocally and melody wise, it's a lot more positive, and hopefully people will leave our gigs thinking like, yes, come on, let's do stuff. I don't know, people like to take out their anger as well at shows and stuff, but it's not that kind of. We just like a real good, fun vibe. That's what we like, and the new material is very much in that ilk. So. Excellent.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, does the One Life represent the album as a whole, or are there a few surprises you have? Because this will be your third album now.
Well, we're going to do an EP first.
Okay.
So, which will be 6 tracks, we think, and that's going to come out early 2016. So we're hoping by the. I hate saying dates because obviously they change. But hopefully by the end of January, that's when I would like to have it all done anyway. So and then we'll have an album towards the end of next year, start of the year after. But we want to get some time, and also because we're totally self. Releasing at the moment, so it's self-funded. So an album is a little bit further than our reach could take us at the moment. So we thought, right, let's do an EP. Let's tour it. Let's get some new material out as soon as possible. It's the quickest way, basically, to get there. So so we're going to do that, and then get some touring in, and then see what happens with with the label and stuff like that. Maybe towards the end of the year and. Then we've got enough to do an album because, like I said, since the last original release, which was 2009, so we've had 6 years of writing. So there's
plenty of material.
There is plenty of material, trust me. But I think we're just being sensible, basically.
Yeah. No, you play the waiting game because it's the industry's changed a lot.
It has.
In the past, sort of like the 10, 15 years that we've kind of been active within the circles of. It started off and labels were the be all end all. Now, no matter what level band you are, you're on a level playing field with everyone else in releasing.
That's true.
It's just a matter of the promotion and hard work you put behind it. Because I can make a track right now, and I can get it on all the sites, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify.
Yeah.
Within the month, it'll be live on everything. But it's just having that, like you say, with the touring. You want to tour it. You want to get you more exposure. So on that subject, actually, I just saw you announced a tour.
Yes.
Was that announced just today, or was that?
The Defiled announced it last night. Yeah. So we're going on tour with the Defiled in January and February, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And we've played with them guys a few times over our. I think they've been going as long as we have. Because I remember us doing a Subverse gig with them in. It was like a under 18s gig at the Underworld in it must be 2005, I guess. Yeah. But so it was really nice that they sort of got in touch with us and asked us to do it. It was like, yeah, cool, we're definitely up for that. So we're going out with them and a band from Hollywood called Vampires Everywhere.
Okay, cool.
So that's going to be a nice little package.
Yeah, because that was at the end of the January, isn't it?
End of January going into February. So some cool places to visit, actually, that we haven't done in a while. So hopefully people will come out and say hi.
Cool. So do you have anything else lined up apart from that? Are you planning to do anything moving on from that directly, or are you just sort of seeing what comes available?
If what's sort of being bandied around at the moment, if all of it comes off, we're going to be very busy between January and May, and we'd like them all to come off, but realistically they're not all going to come off. But the idea is obviously to get this EP finished and pressed up, and then we're going to just hit the road and just shove the new stuff down people's throats, basically. Like, because especially on doing these support tours is a good opportunity for us, especially when we're supporting other people, to go in there with maybe people have got an opinion on us, in which case we'll change it with our new stuff, or if people haven't got an opinion on us at all, and then we'll play them a lot of the new stuff, and they can base their opinion on that, as opposed to perhaps what we were doing 9 or 10 years ago. Yeah. So that's been a challenge that I've enjoyed, actually. Like, sort of coming back from a break, letting people know you're back, for starters, is far harder than you would imagine. I still see when people have shared our new single video, and you can see what they've said to their friends and that, and you see someone saying, "Forever and ever, I didn't know they were still going." And you're like, "Oh, for God's sake!" We've been back since the whole of this year, and you think, but they don't. Like, Facebook makes it impossible for you to do it. We've got a mailing list that we've had forever, and we send out on there, but people still don't get the info, and it's like, I mean, obviously having your videos and stuff on the music channels does help, because people go, "Oh my God, like there they are. But yeah,
I was going to say, I was wondering about that with the because I it's been a while since because we don't get Kerrang like music video channel here or anything like that. How is that different now, or is it any different from when you had your previous videos on there? And obviously there was a bit more of a following for those channels. How with the new video you have? I know it premiered on. Did it premiere on Kerrang's website? Was that right?
It did. Yeah, online anyway. Yeah, it was already.
Go on.
It was already on. Actually, you could have caught it on Scuzz TV or Kerrang TV. Scuzz TV took it on first, actually, this time, which was cool. And Scuzz and Kerrang TV have been supporters of us for a long time. I've got to say, both of those channels have really looked after us since we started getting videos. So even when perhaps we're not going to get quite as much magazine coverage from some of the mags, but the TV side of it always seemed to be good. So I think it is different now. I mean, like you say, people prefer to digest their content online, don't they? So they want to watch it now, whereas if some people, it's not the same as just turning on Kerrang TV or Scuzz TV and then sitting there and waiting for the video you want to hear to come on. But I think it's still important. I think it is still important, but I think obviously the dynamic has changed a little bit with online being, just king for everything now, isn't it? Really,
I was just wondering what the impact was, because a lot of bands I've noticed these days just tend to throw out lyric videos. I mean, well-made lyric videos, but they're not the kind of video you see. Or I don't know if they actually play them or not, because, like I said, I've been home for 3 years, so it's. I
don't blame you.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if they start getting played on there or not, or it's the fact that you guys are actually making videos. The fact that they're getting on there still, because I know back when I used to watch it was a lot of repeats of older videos or the same video they take out of rotation because it was so popular.
They still have all the old videos and stuff, and they have different shows. And there's the Kerrang Rock chart now, which is based on plays across all of the channels and radio and stuff like that. And then Scuzz have got like Rock Box, where they put up 3 hashtags for 3 different videos, and then you just type in hashtag on Twitter, and the winning video gets played next. So they've all got their own sort of shows within the channel.
Okay.
And it's just nice to be included on all of that. Really, like I've never got over that. Like, having our videos on TV, it's still a novelty to me. Like, it's great.
That was always a good feeling. It was always a good feeling. So
people sending like pictures and stuff to us on the Facebook and that, just with like like, you're on the telly, and I'm like, yes. It doesn't matter like when it is. I'm still like, yes. When was it on? 4:30 in the morning. Cool, that's good. What was you doing up at 4:30 in the morning? But it's cool. It's cool. But it's just another way of letting people know that we exist and that we're out there. It's happened to me before. You sit there sometimes and you think, I'll just put on Kerrang or Scuzz TV, and just you put it on, and then a song comes and you go, oh, who's this? And then you start checking it out. That's cool. So it's just another way for people to discover us, and I think that's important.
Yes, you've got to cover all bases these days, because the way content works now. I could see sort of maybe the music industry going that way of releasing. I know a couple of artists I know have done periodic releases and then combined it all as an album at the end of it. Yeah. So every like 2-3 months they release a couple of songs, just keeping that content regular and having a podcast like myself, keeping it regular is the key, because that's the way you keep people like
coming back. Yeah,
exactly. Because I went through a gap of, I did a bunch and then I stopped for a while because work got in the way, just because I work for a tech company. It's kind of stuff gets released and that's your concentration for the next couple of months. Yeah. So my content stopped for a while. My radio show kept going, but the content for this stopped. And when it came back with another one, it was real slow uptake on it. Like I look at the statistics, and it was like real slow until I started obviously promoting it a bit more and more and more. But with the ones I've had a good run now with a bunch of artists that just are popular at the moment, and Yeah, and the content is like it's now more popular than ever, like statistic wise, and I think that's the key with a lot of with the music now, to keep yourselves in the public eye, if you will. It's just to have that content out. You know, like you say, you've got a single, you've had 2 singles so far. The one comes out on the 20th. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and that's as of the date of recording, that's 2 days away. So
yeah, that's it.
This is probably going to go out after it comes out, but
in which case, look it up now.
Yeah, look it up now. It'll be on iTunes and everything. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's just like keeping that content. Like, so you're gonna hopefully have an EP at the end of January. You got your touring covered up until potentially May. You know? And then I don't know what your studio habits are like. Is it will you go in there? Will you self-produce, or is it you hoping to go in with someone, you know, like a named producer, if you will?
Well, we've self-produced for a while. Really, we've got a good working relationship with a guy called Mike Curtis, who's actually our drummer's brother.
Okay.
And Mike's done. Mike used to be in the band Faker Modo.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Great band.
Yes.
And we've worked with him on our stuff for many years now, and you know, he's a good friend. Obviously, he's Sam's brother, so no, I don't think anyone can sort of say the things that he says to Sam when we're recording, and get this and bear the same fruit, shall we say? So, to be honest, when we tracked these One Life and Never Giving Up, it was just Sam, myself, and Mike in the studio for that, and it's just such a relaxed vibe. It's cool, and we know what we get from Mike as well. So, and Mike's on a good level with us, so we're quite happy to, you know, always go with Mike. And I usually track all of the vocals, guitar and bass at my studio.
Okay.
Again, that's probably more for financial reasons than anything else. Yeah. But I wouldn't do it for other bands because it does stress me out a little bit. But for us, it's just means to an end, really. So and then I take all of them back to Mike, and then Mike works his magic and makes them all sound awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, he'll be mixing the EP, which will be fantastic. Can't wait now.
Have you ever thought of? You probably have thought of it, but the crowdsourcing route for your sound, for your albums and recording things.
We debated that, and we can't ever really come up with a unanimous decision on it. Really, it's a tough one because it doesn't matter what way you look at it. There's going to be people that sort of look down upon it, and some people that don't see the problem with it as well. And I still don't really know how I sit with it either. Like, you'd like to be able to do it without having to sort of ask everyone to sort of help you out, but sometimes it's the only way you're going to get music out there. And if your fans want to hear it and want to get this material, then I suppose one way I do think it's a good thing. I mean, it's a surefire way of not having your music pirated, really, because people would pay for it before you've made it. So, you know that. I mean, when our second album came out, it was downloaded 20,000 times in the first week it came out, and you know, at the time we thought that's cool because that means there's 20,000 people that have heard it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, well, hang on, even if 10% of those turn up at like shows and buy a T-shirt, that's, you know, you get run away with it.
Yeah.
It turns out most of them are from like Russia and Turkey or stuff. So you're like, oh, that's a shame. There's no real sort of demand for us to play in Turkey. No. But you know, but then you think, oh, that would equate to, you know, 20,000 sales at like a tenner each is 200,000 quid. That's like, you think, wow, that is a lot to be missing out on. But obviously, if you go the crowdsourcing route, your real fans actually, you know, get the bonuses of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In answer to your question, the short answer is I don't know.
Fair enough. No, it is a point of debate because, like I said, I've spoken to a few artists regarding that side of things, and I see the positives and I see the negatives. I've been on the side of of backing something and getting the fruits of their labour, if you will.
Yeah.
But I've also been on the other side of it where they've not produced what they
said they were
going to do. So it kind of, to me, it's whether or not one, obviously, you've got to be committed to it because your fans are funding you at the same time.
Yeah.
And that should give you the commitment you need because you think, okay, we've got people out there who want to hear
Absolutely.
it. And
it should be.
That's the motivation. But, like I say, it's that kind of double-edged sword almost where some people do frown upon it because they might have been burnt by, be it a music backing or even just like a Kickstarter, where some of them, I know like Pledge Music, you get your money back if they don't quite produce, what they say they will. But there are some where you just donate money to it and hope that everyone else gets their, donates and gets up to their goal so they can produce whatever gadget or album or, what comic book kind of thing, whatever you're backing. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I see both sides of it. I looked at it as an artist as well. Just kind of maybe I could put my music out. Would anyone pay me to?
That's the thing as well. I mean, I couldn't think of anything more embarrassing as well than sort of going through the palaver of setting it all up and then you don't meet your target and you'd be like, oh my god, I thought, and be like, got no fans.
No, I pissed off the ones that I had.
Yeah. You got no fans.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Your mum might donate a tenner. So
yeah, that's the risk of doing it as well. But no, we have got a good fan base, and I think we could reward them with lots of goodies if we did it. But I think we're going to see. That's the thing with the EP. I think it's within our means to do it without having to take money off of our fans. I think we can. We can do that. But when it comes to an album at the end of next year, maybe that's when it's something we could sort of think about doing it.
Because I've noticed labels doing it with their bands as well. Like some of the independent labels are they're doing the promotions and things like that. But when it comes to funding the recording, they're doing like a Pledge Music campaign or a Kickstarter campaign for those bands. So I don't know if that's a way of
taking all the risk out of their hands. That's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I mean, the only output really is obviously the promotion. That's one big chunk, but the physical product, if you will, because like releasing anything digitally, as you probably know, you can do it for free. I mean, you give up a little bit more of your royalty side of things, but you can release it on, like I said a moment ago, you can within a month. If I produced a track now, it would be up on every download site available to buy for whatever cost of that area of the world.
Yeah, it's like it's made very simple for you now to do it. So it's which is great.
But if you want that physical product, I think that's where the money's. Or if you want that promotion, because it's that kind of, like I said before, like that level playing field. You're technically on the same field as Metallica or Taylor Swift, but it's about the people behind you pushing you through. Whether you can, get noticed by that group of people, it's everyone can release something on this huge, platform, but it's the promotion that's the key. It's the awareness of who you are.
It is, yeah, you're right.
So it's just having that team of people, and it's making sure that you can, get that chance.
Yeah, it is. There's so many elements to. Putting a release out, I don't think the average music consumer quite realises how much there is to just getting an album out. Like, it's not just a case of getting the songs recorded. There's so much other stuff that you have to be able to do. That's why we decided on an EP, because we knew that if we might have enough money between us to maybe get an album done, but then we'd be like, oh, well, we're going to need videos to promote the album. We're going to need PR for the album. Yeah. And then you think, maybe that's not doable at the moment. So reeling it back to an EP means you're not spending as much on the recording, and we've got a bit left to play with for video and whatever else. So
cool,
all good.
All right. Well, I've got a couple of just final quick questions, if that's cool, and then I'll let you go. So give me 3 albums that molded you.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I'm going to say one's Michael Jackson, Bad.
Yeah.
I bet that's the answer to so many people's or one of Michael Jackson's albums anyway. But that was one of my 3 albums that I had when I was like 6 years old, and I guess that's where all my singing side of it came from there. So that'd be one, and one of my second one would definitely be another one of my albums that was in my 3 when I was 6, and that was Terence Trent D'Arby, the hard line according to Terence Trent D'Arby, because his voice is just incredible. So those 2 from then, and then in later life, one of Home or Animosity by Seven Dust. That band made me realise how much you can do with one chug. Yeah, a single note chug and melody as well. And I was like, yes, this is cool. Like, and because they don't get to come over here that often, and you don't find a lot of people don't. I mean, you can see them whenever you want out there, can't you? But
actually, I was just about to say they just announced a show recently on the 28th of November, like downtown from where I live. So I'm very tempted to go down there and
jealous.
See that. So it's
jealous. I saw them at the LA2 in November '99 at the LA2. They just come off of tour with Skunk and Nancy in Europe, and then they did a headliner there, and it just blew my mind. Like, I was like, these are now immediately my favourite band, because they were just so cool live. Yeah. And then obviously they didn't come back for like 9 years. I think they did a tour with Blackstone Cherry. Yeah. And then they did an off date in Portsmouth, which I went along to, and that's it. That's all the gigs that I'm aware of that they've done over here. So, but yeah, that either Home or Animosity. I can't really. I suppose Home was the one that I heard first, so that one would be a lot bit of a life changer for me.
Cool. No, that's cool. I mean, I love Seven Dust, a great band. So
yeah,
and Michael Jackson and Terence Trent D'Arby. I know them all. So it's growing up in the UK, it's that kind of like same vibe. But yeah, Seven Dust were one of those bands that again saw. One of those just once. I think I've seen them live. But they have played locally to me here in Tampa a fair few times since I've been here. So I'm hoping to actually check them out on the 28th. I just need to get a babysitter sorted. So, that's the thing with adult life now with children. It's you have to think of the kids in these things. Yeah, I would bring them with me, but I don't think it would be that appropriate. I don't think they'd enjoy it right now. So. But yeah, I do want to see them again. They, like I said, they play around here quite often. So
yeah, they're always touring America by the looks of it. I'm like, come over. They're doing Australia as well now. I noticed that they're going over to New Zealand and Australia, and I'm like, any chance of stopping off on the way over?
Maybe they'll get one of those package tours where you get a couple of those bands from that era. Go off.
If Seven Dust to come in here, I want the tour. That's the bottom line.
There is that as well. Yeah. Just keep looking out for whoever's booking them. I don't know who would be booking them at this point. So, what are your hobbies away from music? I play football twice a week, or soccer, as you. No, it's football.
It's football. Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan for my sins. Okay. So go to a couple of games every season if I can get tickets. I've been. I went to see him beat Stoke this season, which was nice. So go that play football twice a week, although not currently because I'm injured. Mm-hmm. But what else do I like doing? Comedy's one of my favourite things. Like going to some comedy gigs, like watching some stand up and that. That's always good. Cool. Yeah, I can nick some of the jokes for obviously between songs.
Yeah, that's always a good source for it, especially if you hit those comedy nights where they don't know the comics. So
I don't really steal jokes. I do. I don't.
Yeah. You don't officially, but you do.
But usually, I think it's worse because I normally do come up with my own stuff, and that's why the other guys eyeball me a lot and be like, "Hurry up."
Yeah.
Go, just get on with the next song. Like, okay.
I remember when you were. I think I actually remember the moment on stage at the West End Centre, and you just come off that TV show as well.
Oh yeah.
And you made the comment of, was it no lighty, no likey? Yeah. And I think your guitarist just screamed "fuck off" down the microphone.
Yeah.
At that point.
I don't think. I think someone else said it, not me.
Oh, really?
So I don't. Well, I don't think I'd. Unless I just wanted to address the elephant in the room, because that was not too long after going on there.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I didn't want to bring it up, but did you enjoy that, by the way? Because that looked like a lot of fun. Because I did watch it. So
I did. Yeah. And I'm not. I don't regret doing it either. So
no, I did a lot of TV as a kid in the UK. Never a game show, but. It was always like just being on TV, like our generation being on TV, not like kind of today people being on TV, because you can get on TV for almost anything. But I was on the Big Breakfast for a week. I was like part of the Family of the Week back in '93.
I probably watched it.
But I did Blue Peter. I did loads of those Saturday morning television shows, going live, 8:15 from Manchester, Motormouth, all that lot. So.
That's pretty cool.
And I did most Haunted.
Oh yeah.
Which I did 2 of the live shows. I was sort of like a mini part of it. One was in Portsmouth, one was in Wales. I think some random castle in Wales. But yeah, no, being on TV is always I don't regret doing any of them, even though Most Haunted was kind of very cringeworthy. But
well, I expected Take Me Out to be more cringeworthy, actually, like, because you don't know what it felt. Fine at the time I was on it, and it was filmed, and then you come off, and then you think, I wonder what they're going to edit it together like, because they could mug you off, they could make you look proper silly, like, and I was bracing myself for the a barrage of piss taking texts from everyone, and. But as it would come on the telly, my phone's never been like it. I just got texts from people you haven't spoke to for like 6 years. Is that you on the telly? Well, how many other Rennys do you know with long hair from Essex? It probably is, isn't it? But I had about 180 texts. And I was like, well, I can't even bother to go through them right now. So I sort of left it to the day after and I put my feet up. But everyone was like, even my best mates were like, I really, really wanted to take the mickey out of you there, but actually you kind of come across all right, so I'm annoyed.
Yeah, compared to, because I didn't really watch the show. I watched it a couple of times running up to you being on there, but it was a pretty cringeworthy show, and you can see how they can cut it to make it look, one way or the other.
A lot worse.
You carried yourself very well. Yeah. There was nothing. There was no I didn't see anything. It
was a relief. Yeah, it was a relief. And
I can imagine.
But it was good. I made some really good friends out of it as well, and it was all sort of people that obviously you just wouldn't meet in, because obviously doing the band stuff and whatever else, you go down a certain path, don't you? So you only meet people maybe from that ilk of life. So from doing the show, though, I made some really good friends, people that I just wouldn't have met otherwise. So for me, it was a good experience, a really positive experience on my life anyway. So it's cool.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap things up.
Okay.
Just so one last thing, where can people reach you? Like social media links and things, if you want to give up good plugging.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. So the Facebook is just facebook.com/forevernever. Our Instagram is Instagram, and it's at Forever Never Official. And then our Twitter is forever_never. Annoyingly, just 2 random girls have got Forever Never on Twitter and Forever Never on Instagram, and we have tried to get in touch with them, but they don't get back. They're both from America somewhere, so you could perhaps hunt them down for us.
Oh, maybe I'll take a look.
It's pretty small in America, so you can probably just go and knock for us. So yeah, that's our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
All right.
And if you want to hook me up for any reason, then I'm on Twitter as Renny FN.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for your time, Renny. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with the single. I hope it goes well, because it comes out on the 20th of November. It'll be available via all good digital outlets across the world, I would have thought.
Yeah, all over.
All over. So get downloading. Find the video on YouTube. Also on Kerrang.com as well, if you're frequent to that site. But thank you for your time, Renny. And take it easy.
You too, man. Thank you.
Cool,
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there we have it. We ended this podcast with Renny. from Forever Never. Go check out their new single, One Life. Like I said in the interview, that title is a bit more poignant now, given recent events in the world. But yeah, you've only got one life. Go out there, live it and love it, and spread that love to everyone else. Don't get taken out by the fear machine. Don't fear others. Don't fear other people if they're from different backgrounds, different parts of the world, because that's how it's controlled. You are controlled by that fear, and you just don't experience everything that you could do as a human. It doesn't, whatever your belief system is, it doesn't matter to me. Just go out there and spread joy. Share your passions, be it arts, music, video games, movies, whatever it is, go out there and share it. Create a positive impact on people, and don't be controlled by the fear that is fed to you every day, regardless of what recently happened in the world, because there's domestic stuff going on all the time. And I see it all, and it's just constant fear. And I've seen the effect it has on people, and it's not a positive one. So go out, one life, positivity. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. If you can go and rate and review, that will be fantastic, just to let me know that you are listening. But that would be fantastic if you could do that. But if not, go out and spread what you love, your passions, your joy to this world. So on that note, until next time, this is DJ Force X out.